Hey there, friends and viewers. Hengest here with the Vegan Gamers. I want to welcome you to my first ever Age of Empires 4 video. I actually never played any of the Age of Empires videos, or excuse me, any of the Age of Empires games prior to this one, which came out October of 2021. I was always more of a Warcraft guy, a Starcraft guy, even a Command and Conquer guy. I never got into Age. But since the downfall of Warcraft as an RTS, and really the downfall of Blizzard in general, I've fallen hard for this game. It's my favorite game in a long time. I'm really excited about it. And this is the first video I've ever made for Age. So needless to say, I'm a pretty new player. But also, I've been playing RTS since I was probably, 11 or 12 years old. So I'm definitely not new to RTS. I'm not really sure of the gaming demographics that these genre of games appeal to these days. I think it's probably the millennials primarily. I don't know if young people are really into this style of game. I don't really care because I'm like in love with Age of Empires 4 right now. So I just want to show you a really quick game of a strategy I've been trying out that I just don't know how powerful it is. At the time of this recording, ranked play is currently not implemented, so I am playing as the English right now against the Holy Roman Empire, and this is a replay of a match I played just earlier today. And you can see my opening is very lumber heavy, although English do have the best farm economy. Although I try to play vegan in this game while I'm still learning and I'm trying to be competitive. I am harvesting sheep, and you can see that I have quite a few sheep there already on this small 1v1 map. About 2 minutes in, I start collecting gold to construct my first landmark. I decide I'm going to deprioritize these berries because I know if I put as many villagers as I can on sheep, I will gather food much faster. Now with my scout, I know I'm playing against the Holy Roman Empire because it tells me at the loading screen. I kind of wish it didn't, so that I had to scout and see which civilization or empire I am facing. But, I know going into it that my opponent is playing the Romans, and if you know anything about Romans, you know that they're after these. They're after the relics, because their castle, they have one castle age landmark that functions a lot like a monastery. You can't train any units from it, but if you put relics in this landmark, I can't remember the name of it at this moment, then you are able to collect more gold passively than any other empire in the game by far. I think it's kind of OP if you get 3 relics as soon as possible. I've played a few matches where I'll rush castle age as the Romans. I'll immediately get 3 relics, and then my mid-game economy is just out of control. You can see my opponent is going really hard on gold here. This is a lot bigger investment on gold than you would typically go for. Because this is quick match, I really have no clue how advanced of a player my opponent is. You can see he's going for the Aachen Chapel, this religious landmark for the feudal age. And I will be going for the Council Hall as the English. And at this point in time in the match, I am currently scouting the ideal location to place my Council Hall, because I'm going to use a longbow rush strategy in this game. Now, in the current meta, I would say most players believe the Russians, the Rus, and the French are the most powerful because of their early game cavalry ability to just control the map early. I find the English can be just as potent with longbows, and that is why I just invested so much in lumber. I currently have almost 400 lumber, and I'm sending, 6 villagers to construct my first landmark. After collecting this amount of lumber, I know that by the time they get there, I'll have enough food and enough gold to build the Council Hall. So I kind of know where the relics are at this point in time. I know to be wary of my opponent rushing those, and I'm really hoping that this doesn't get scouted, because sending 6 villagers across the map at this stage in the game means only one thing. It means you're gonna put some type of a building down and rush your opponent. And I get hit by this wolf, these pesky wolves, and then there, my opponent just scouted the villagers. I'm not really sure what he saw, if he knew how many villagers they were, if they were villagers. A new player could easily be confused by that because the English villagers have short bows and they have pikes, so they can easily be mistaken for pikes or archers. You can see that my opponent already has a barracks down and he has started to build spearmen. Now this is pretty much the best case scenario for me because the only unit you can construct with the council hall, or train rather, is the longbow, which is the most powerful archer in the game, and they excel at killing spearmen. So for my opponent to go early spears, this is the lowest cost option for him, just to get up some basic infantry defense in his base. This is like worst case scenario for him, and that's why I wanted to show this replay. I've tried this strategy a few times. I'm finding it's really difficult to counter because even if your opponent does rush cavalry and you're rushing longbows this close to their base, there's a good chance you're gonna win the early battle because these longbowmen have the ability to put down spikes which deal extraordinary damage to cavalry, and even with some intermediate micro you can easily deal with a few cavalry at this stage of the match. Now the council hall, I believe, is capable of producing archers as fast as 2, maybe 3 archery ranges, so it's a really powerful landmark. And you're gonna see right now I've pooled enough resources to just queue up. What is that? Oh my gosh, that's like 8 longbows I just queued up, and then I immediately start harvesting my opponent's gold. This is a strategy you definitely want to use. You always want to try to harvest your opponent's gold early instead of your own. And you can see my opponent kind of knew this was coming. He sent 4 lances or spearmen to deal with this rush. I actually wasn't paying attention and I lost 2 longbowmen, which is okay because I have these villagers right here and they have short bows, and now I just took control of this little skirmish and I started microing. But by that time I had already traded 2 longbows for 2 spearmen, which isn't a great trade for me. I could have easily kept all of those longbows alive. That was just a mistake on my part. But it's good to show because even while making mistakes like this, look at how fast I can get these longbows into his base. And there he goes. My opponent wisely transitions to men at arms because they are somewhat of a counter to the longbows. But as you can see, with even just a basic micro, you can even take down these guys. Even if he had like 3, maybe 4 men at arms, I would have still been able to deal with it using basic micro abilities. And now my opponent has really no choice but to pull back his villagers. After losing 3 of them, he had the majority of his workforce collecting lumber. He loses a 4th villager, and now this is a terrible situation for my opponent to be in. He just lost 4 early game villagers and is now forced to turtle. He's garrisoned 4 of the villagers to defend his base and has sent the rest of them on food and gold. He can't do much right now. He doesn't have any military units on the field. All he has is these villagers, and look, I'm able to just continue massing these longbows. I've now got the campfire on the way and a tower, giving my units the network of castle, 25% bonus attack speed, and my opponent knew right then and there that it was over. There was only a couple options he could have had after this council hall went up to actually win this match. He certainly should not have sent his spearmen into my council hall, but he can't really blame him either. He was trying to stop the mass, and I wouldn't say he's a bad player. He didn't respond poorly to the rush, but there's really just hardly anything he could have done. And I just wanted to show that really quick because it's a strategy I've been trying out, the longbow rush with the English. I want to try it in ranked play just to see how viable is it, or is it just a noob stomp strategy. We'll see. I'm getting pretty good at it, and I'm trying out some of the other empires and different strategies and such. And I just want to make a quick little video. So give us a thumbs if you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see if we can start churning out some more age content because I really love this game. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.